Michael C. I'm a teacher. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm an uncle. I'm a friend. I'm a husband. But most importantly, I'm a father. I created TheSkyBoxx in 2021 to show to you that being a rapper and a ball player isn't the only way they can provide opportunities for themselves. In Season 5 Rise Above, we're going to explore some special guest journeys and see how they rose above their circumstances. And they just didn't become good, they became great. Today, we have a discussion with certified trainer, nutritionist, and bodybuilder, Mike Lewis. And we discuss how did it all begin? And how did the U.S. military help him in the world of bodybuilding? And his journey in bodybuilding, and much more. Sit back and relax, and enjoy. Welcome to Michael Z, the source of life, over the mic. Just sit back and relax, y'all. And let me just tell you about this man. Him and I, we went to Millersville together. Millersville, stand up. When it came to Millersville, when it came to soccer, this was one of the men I'm telling you was the truth. And think about it. As a soccer person, you're pretty lean and physique. Well, 10 years later, I see this man, and lean is not what he is. When it comes down to it, he became a professional bodybuilder. I want to introduce you to a great friend of mine, my guy, Mike Lewis. What's good? What you got? Welcome to Rise Above, man.
What's going on, Mike?
You already know what it is, guys.
Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate you, brother.
No doubt.
And after all these years, it's a pleasure to actually, sit down with you and catch up. So
It's been a while.
it's been a while.
It's
Yeah.
definitely been a while, and I've tried to get you on this thing for
It's
a while.
it has been. It has been.
Yeah.
So
But we'll let you hear now.
yes,
Right?
yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
let's get it started. So, I'm going to ask you when did it all begin, but I want to know, like, from the time you was at soccer, skinny soccer player running 5 miles a day, to this,
Yeah.
when did it all happen?
So, like you said, I played soccer at Millersville. I played soccer throughout my life, from the time I was 6 years old. I played in high school, played in college, and then I joined the military. So I joined the military in, I believe, 2002, 2003. I deployed to Iraq in 2004. So while I was deployed, I was still running my, whenever I got the chance, I was still running my 5 miles a day, doing my 100 push-ups a day, 100 sit-ups a day. That was my workout.
Right.
I was very lean, and my platoon sergeant at the time, Sergeant Ortiz, probably about 5'2", stocky. I believe he was a bodybuilder as well. So he used to look at me and be like, "Come here, Lewis, you skinny motherfucker." He's like, "Did you run your 5 miles today?" I'm like, "Yes, Sergeant, I ran my 5 miles." He's like, "All right, you want to come down to the weight room with us?" And I'm like, "No, I don't lift weights. I don't do that. I just run."
I remember you saying
I just run. I do 100 push-ups. I do 100 sit-ups. That's what I do. So for about a month, he was trying to get me to go down and work out with them, and I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that. I don't lift weights. I don't do that." I'm like, "You go ahead. You guys muscle heads. Go ahead and do that, right?" So finally one day I didn't have anything else to do. I'm bored. I'm like, let me just go down here and see what they're doing. So I go down there, and I remembered vividly I was doing bicep curls, right? So I did about maybe 15 reps. I'm talking about lightweight, and I'm like, oh crap, I felt a pump, and I'm like, oh, let me do 15 more, and 15 more, and 15 more, and that was it.
And you got addicted to
and I got addicted to it. I went online. I bought protein supplements, and I mean, I bought a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't even need. I stopped playing soccer because I'm like, I'm doing too much cardio.
Right, right.
And I came back home. I kept learning about training, the right way to train, proper nutrition. I kept learning, talking to other people, joined the gym, and I just kept building onto my knowledge base. And and every year I added about 5 to 7 pounds of muscle to my frame. So and now I'm 220.
So you went from 150 to 220. Oh my God.
But consistently though,
Right.
right? Like I said,
You made a goal for yourself.
every year the goal is to add 5 to 7 pounds, 5 to 7 pounds of muscle, and I've been able to do that consistently for the past 15 years.
So with all that being said, you adding all this muscle, there's got to be only one way to go to a bodybuilding competition.
Correct.
Have you competed in any?
Yes, I have. So I did my first competition in 2007. I believe at the time I was deployed as well. I think I was deployed to Horn of Africa. So on base they had a bodybuilding competition. So I'm like, oh man, I'm ready. I had zero idea what I was doing. I'm like, okay, I just eat chicken and rice for the next 6 weeks and eat some vegetables, and I'll be fine. And I was compared to other soldiers, and I won my weight class. I think at the time I was about 180 pounds, but I dieted down to about 170. So I won my weight class, and I'm like, oh man, this is it. I'm a bodybuilder now. And now I look back on the pictures from that competition. I'm like, man, I look like shit. 2021, I did the Lehigh Valley Classic in Allentown. I competed in 3 divisions, and I took second place in all 3.
That's impressive.
Well, I think I should have won at least two out of the 3. I got robbed, but it is what it is. I mean, I there were some mistakes that I made. Some mental error. And then last October 2022, I competed in Armed Forces Championships in Arlington, Virginia. So I competed in the light heavyweight division and the Masters over 40. So I won the Masters. I beat all the old dudes, right?
Wow, those
So
real
from
quick.
35 and over, I beat everybody, and I also won. So I won my weight class over 40, and I also won the Masters overall. So by winning by winning just my weight class, I qualified for nationals, which is what I'm getting ready for now. Nationals is in July. So national is a pro qualifier, meaning that if I win my weight class, then I become a legit professional bodybuilder. Yes.
Oh. Do you have like a target weight for your competitions?
Yes, I do. So I compete in a light heavyweight, and the cutoff weight is 198.5. So what that means is that when I go to check in the day before the show, I cannot weigh more than 198.5. However, when I step on stage, I can be over 198.5.
And that's what usually.
That's what most competitors usually do. So for example, my last show, I weighed in at 195, and then after I weighed in, I had about 3 or 4 meals. So when I step on stage the following day, I was about 200, and I looked a lot bigger than when I weighed in at 195. So that's a weight cap. Yeah.
How many times do you work out on a weekly basis?
So during the off season, meaning off season is when I'm kind of going through I'm bulking and I'm not getting ready for a competition. So off season, I usually work out about 4 to 5 days a week, and I'll do cardio maybe 2 or 3 times a week. But now that I'm in my prep or my season, um, I'm doing cardio in the morning and then weight training in the evening.
That
So,
makes sense. That makes
so and
sense.
I'm training six days a week now. Yeah.
All right.
Telling myself, don't miss a workout, don't miss a meal. Don't miss, right?
Don't miss.
Don't, yeah, exactly.
You already know what it is. Don't miss. Don't miss us now in the next segment of Rise Above after this. We're back. We're back. You already know who it is. It's the source of life over the mic. I'm here with Mike Lewis, and I'm telling you, my man is swole at about 220. For right now, maybe at 220, 215, but who cares? Because at the end of the day, he is swole. Let's get right into it. What bodybuilders did you admire?
So I like the old school bodybuilders. I like my favorite bodybuilder is Lee Haney. Yeah, I just like his shape, his structure. Um, I like his approach to training. I like his approach to his nutrition. So yes, so I'm a Lee Haney. I'm a Lee Haney fan. I mean he's from the '80s, but I'm more of a
Old school,
old
baby.
school. I'm more of an old school bodybuilder.
We
Yeah.
80s babies. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
still,
we are.
we 80s babies. So I'm going to take it back just a little bit when it comes down to when you were talking about right when you got addicted to it. I mean, you were talking about, oh, I bought everything, the proteins, the shakes, the supplements. Then all of a sudden you dial back.
Yes.
Now you're dialing back. What supplements would you recommend to somebody that is just beginning and now or is serious into it?
So I mean, what you need is just whey protein, right? Because uh, whether you're trying to gain muscle or you're trying to get lean, you need protein, right? You need to be on a high protein diet. So I get about 85 to 90% of my protein, my daily protein intake, just from my meals. I eat about 8 to 12 egg whites a day, about 2 to 3 chicken breasts a day. So I eat, a lot of fish, a lot of ground, lean ground turkey. But I only drink 2 scoops of protein a day, and that is immediately after my training.
Okay.
That because that's when your body needs, because you when you train, you break down your muscle tissues, and then you need protein to help rebuild them, right? So that is the only time that I drink protein uh, throughout the day. I make sure I get on my protein from my meals. But if there's a situation where maybe you know I'm busy doing something and I forgot to get a meal in, then I'll use protein powder as a supplement to make sure I get that I'm getting my daily uh, protein intake.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But to answer your question, if you have a young guy out there, or maybe someone that's getting the training, like you don't need all the stuff that's on the market. All you need is just whey protein, and maybe you take a pre-workout. Personally, I do not take a pre-workout. My pre-workout is it's a cup of coffee black.
I
Um,
can't stand coffee.
uh, you know, um, but for young people getting into training, the first thing, my first advice is get your nutrition down. Make sure you're eating enough food. Again, if you're trying to lose weight or if you're trying to put weight on, it starts in the kitchen. It's all nutrition. Once you get your nutrition down packed, then focus on your training, and then add some supplements. Like I said, I only use whey protein powder. That's what I use.
Oh, my man. Let's rewind a little bit back to your U.S. military background,
Yes.
and it's made a big impact on your life as a bodybuilder.
Of course, of course. So in the military, the military is very structured. From the time you wake up until the time you go to bed, you have a schedule that you follow.
Right.
And if you are a junior soldier, there's someone telling you where you need to be at all times. So and you better be there. So yeah. So as far as being, like learn, how in the military, I learned to be disciplined, and the structure for the military, I was able to carry that over to bodybuilding. Because especially now that I'm prepped for a competition, my day is very structured.
Mm-hmm.
I have a plan that I have to follow.
Right.
I have to get my cardio in the morning. I got to get 6 meals in
Mm-hmm.
during the day. I got to get my weight training in at night. I have to make sure that I'm getting enough sleep. So it's not. A lot of times people on the outside looking in, it's like, oh, you just go to the gym and lift weights and that's it. No, that's not it.
Right.
You know, uh, being a bodybuilder is a lifestyle. It's a
Definitely
24. It's a 24/7 lifestyle. You can't shut it off. And the time management, all of that, I was able, to use that skills in my bodybuilding world. Yeah.
There it is. All it takes is a little bit of structure and time, y'all. Structure and time does it all.
And discipline.
And discipline
Yeah.
too. But when we're going to discipline ourselves in a few, right after this. We're back. We're back. You already know what it is on Rise Above. It's me, Michael C., the source of life over the mic. I'm here with my guy, Michael Lewis. Big, swole, and in control. Let's go get it. Here we get to the serious one. At what age did you feel what age do you feel is the best time to bodybuild or even weightlifting?
It depends, right? So, for example, if you have a teenager, a young man, I should say, that wants to play football, right? Part of that training is, it's weightlifting, right? So they'll probably get into weightlifting quicker than, let's say, someone that wants to run cross country, right?
Right.
Or someone that maybe wants to play tennis, right? So weightlifting won't be a main component of that training.
Correct.
So, but if there's someone that wants to strictly pursue bodybuilding as a hobby, I think 15, 16 is it's a good age. When I was that age, I wasn't thinking about going to the gym or doing anything like that. So, but I think it's based on the individual, and what they want to do. I see a lot of parents at the gym with their kids. I think it's based on the parents as well. If the parents are into fitness, the kids will get into fitness early on, right?
That's a good way of looking at it also.
If the parents are into fitness, I mean, it's not. I'm not. Doesn't mean that a kid won't get into fitness, but it might take a little bit longer for them to discover fitness on their own, right? So it all depends on the individual.
There it is. There it is. What does a person gain most out of bodybuilding?
Discipline. Discipline is the number one, right? Because you have to be disciplined to, one, eat the same food every day.
Yeah. Chicken and broccoli.
I mean, chicken and broccoli, oatmeal. I mean, so I like to say desire, determination, and discipline. The 3 Ds, right? But discipline is the most important one because, so even though I'm a certified personal trainer, I have a coach that I'm using right now. Just someone else to have eyes on me and not have to do it myself. I can just follow the program. So my coach doesn't come to my house to wake me up to say, "Hey, Mike, you gotta go do your cardio," or "Hey, Mike, don't eat that. That's not part of your nutrition plan," or "Hey, Mike, you haven't worked out for 2 days. What's going on?" No, it's on me to be disciplined,
Right.
to be able to do that. And with discipline, I also talk about integrity, right? So integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is looking, right, at all times, right? So you got to have the integrity too, because when you step on stage, the stage doesn't lie.
Ain't so many ways.
The stage doesn't lie. It will show all your flaws. And if you did it, if you did not do your cardio, when you step on stage, people are gonna be like, "Whoa,
Get you off
like somebody,
that. Slipping.
somebody's, and bodybuilding, it's an individual sport. When I step on stage and I don't have a coach on stage with me, I don't have a teammate on stage with me. I have to execute all my poses by myself.
Right.
No one's gonna run on stage and say, "Oh my God, Mike, okay, time out." No, there's no, there's no time out. There's no time out. So you gotta have the discipline to do the work.
There you go.
So you have to do the work, and not only that, like you can, like I use the discipline that I have in bodybuilding in my everyday life. In my personal life, my professional life, you know, uh, because I use bodybuilding. Like, okay, if I can wake up at 5 o'clock to go do cardio, I can do this, right?
You got a good mindset.
Or if I can lead troops in combat, I can do this, right? So it just having that mental toughness.
So you're just put to the point that you're just saying fear is not a factor.
I mean, fear is a factor, but I don't let it control me, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Right?
That makes total sense.
Yes. It's. I think being fearful keeps you in check, but if you allow it to dominate you, then it's not. Then it's not good.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah.
What advice would you give a person that is scared or intimidated to go to the gym, and they see someone that looks like you?
Don't be scared. That's the first thing. Don't be scared. I know on the outside I look very rough. I am not the kind of guy that walks down the street with a smile on my face.
Right.
I do not, and that's just how I am. And even before I got into bodybuilding, that's how it was.
Right.
I do not, So some people find that very intimidating, but once you get to know me, I am a big teddy bear. So look, if there's someone out there that don't feel comfortable going to the gym by themselves, they can always work with a trainer. A personal trainer can help them kind of navigate, going to the gym, how to properly do the exercises until they feel comfortable, and then they can start doing the exercises on their own or going to the gym on their own, once they get comfortable. So, but most bodybuilders are very nice people, but on the exterior they look hard, they look unapproachable. But I mean, I've met some great friends that are bodybuilders. I met some great people at the gym. So don't be intimidated.
There it is. Don't be intimidated by this dude, man. He might be big as you don't know what, but don't be intimidated by this dude, y'all. You already know what it is. We'll be back in a few after this. Hey, if you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, hit me up at the number one skybox at gmail.com. I will read and I will respond to every question, thought, or concern. And I may even put 1 or 2 questions on the next episode. And also remember, be good to yourself, y'all. We're back. You already know what time it is. It's the pie deck, y'all. It's the pie deck, y'all. You already know what we do. I put him in the shuffler. You already know. After I put him in the shuffler, my man shuffles him out. After that, I lay it out. Let the guests choose a question. They give us an answer. And we go from there. Let's go get them.
Okay.
His question is.
So question is, what is the favorite thing you bought you have bought this year? Favorite thing I bought this year? I would have to say the Glock handgun that I bought.
The Glock handgun.
Yes, I'm a
Around
gun.
that corner if you want it.
I am a gun collector as well, and every year, around my birthday, I try to treat myself, and I don't buy some sort of handgun. So this year I went with a Glock.
There it is. There it is. What competitions you got coming up on the horizon?
Great. So, like I mentioned earlier, I'm doing nationals, NPC Universe, July 1st in New Jersey. It is a pro qualifier, and if I win my weight class, then I will get my pro card, which means I'll be able to get sponsor and win prize money when I compete as a professional.
How can they contact you?
So, like I mentioned earlier, I also do personal training. I'm a certified personal trainer, and also I'm a certified nutritionist as well. So, if anyone out there, have any questions about how to get started, whether you need help with, nutrition, or you need help with, workout program, or you just want to, talk to me for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and just kind of pick my brain. I do give about 20 to 30 minutes free consultation as well. So you can find me on Facebook, Mike Lewis, and I'm also on Instagram, Mike _Lewis _personal _fitness.
There you go.
Or you can just reach out to my main man Mike.
You already know.
I'll
get you. Don't worry.
He'll get you in contact with me. So
there it is. You got any shout outs?
No, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for having me on. Allowing me this platform for me to be able to talk about something I'm passionate about.
Absolutely.
And again, I think you're doing great work. Bringing people with different backgrounds on to kind of talk about that area of expertise and kind of get the education and knowledge out there. To some of the young folks or even grown folks for that matter. So I appreciate you, allow me to come.
No doubt, man.
Come to the SkyBoxx.
SkyBoxx Studios, man. This is what it is,
So
man.
I appreciate you, brother.
You already know what it is, Nico. Noel, you already know what it is. I want to thank you for tuning in. And if you like this episode, I'd love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. All you have to do is email me at the number one SkyBoxx @gmail.com. I want your thoughts, your questions, and who would you love to sit here with me here at the SkyBoxx Studios? I'd like to thank Mike Lewis for coming through the SkyBoxx Studios. And I'd like